Hello, everybody. Hey, well, morning.
Hey, morning, Andy.
How are
Hello.
you doing?
I'm excellent, thanks. Really good. Really good. Yeah, you?
Very good indeed. Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to a new series, new year, new start. We've got a new webinar series today. New host as well with Will. My predecessor, I
New
think,
old host.
actually. Yeah, new old host. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those that may have watched before or seen previous webinars, Will used to run these webinars and host them. But we've brought him back as a host today. And as you can see, we are going to kickstart your marketing in 2025. There is absolutely lots to cover today. Everything from creating a marketing plan, your website, traffic strategies. There's so much more. I don't want to go through it all now because Will's got plenty to go through as we go along today. Um, so, little bit of housekeeping to start. This is a bit of an extended webinar to our usual time. So we're going to go on to about 11:15 this morning. Feel free as we go along to ask questions, pop them in the chat, and we will try and answer as we go. There is a lot to cover, so we may kind of bolt them all out and then cover them all at the end. Okay. So I just want to check actually that the chat is live. If a few of you can just pop a message in there that we've got it all working. Thank you, Jean. That's great.
Hello. Yes, thanks very much.
That's all good, Edward. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Um, so yeah, we're going to cover as we go, but we'll both of us will stick around afterwards just to cover any questions and stuff that we don't get a chance to go through live this morning. So as always, with these, I'd like to start just with a little bit of an introduction because a lot of you might be new here. You might not have attended a previous webinar that we run. So a bit of background about JDR. We are an established marketing agency. This is our 21st year now. And our background is in business coaching, which is how we started. Will, you started the business 2004, working with small businesses to help them grow their business. Our company has evolved significantly since then, and our day to day is providing an outsourced marketing department for small to medium-sized businesses, providing support to a marketing team or being that full outsourced resource, helping businesses with everything from their strategy, as we can see, Will there, but also having the resources to also implement those strategies as well. And I think the focus today is all about kickstarting marketing. It's all about getting a head start to the year, because when we actually look at businesses, most companies should, if you read any business textbook, allocate equal resources to their operations, to their finance, and to their marketing. Um, the reality is, most businesses don't do that. They are very good at what they do, sound financially, most of them anyway, but they don't allocate resources to marketing. And that is what today is about, really. It's about how you can readdress the balance with this. So there's lots to cover. I'm going to give my screen to Will. Okay. And I'm going to hand over to you, Will, and we can get started.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Yeah, so uh, the reason that the marketing ball in most businesses is not as big as the others is a number of reasons, but one of those is that most business owners, directors don't come from a marketing background. It's unfamiliar territory for them. They tend to come from an operational background. And when we are talking to business owners and directors and marketers about what are their biggest marketing challenges, the one that comes up over and over again is time, it's lack of resource, it's know-how. And when we ask what are the things that you want to do in your marketing, one of the things they want to do is to get a proper strategy and a plan. Well, Today, we're going to show you how you can put together a strategy and a plan. And I said in one of the videos leading up to this webinar that if you're like me, years go by really quickly, and the older you get, the faster they go by. And it's the start of a brand new year. We've all got lots of enthusiasm, hopefully, for 2025 and optimism about what it will bring. But before you know it, it's going to be Easter, and then it'll be the summer, and then Christmas decorations will be back in the shops again, and we'll be winding up and looking forward to 2026. So to avoid that, what I want to share with you in this webinar today is how to make sure that you utilize whatever your resources for marketing, your time, that you use them to the very best of your ability, and that you get the very best results that you can. And we want to share with you a process and a system for doing that. So I'm going to share screen. Let me start with the most common challenges. We have been working with businesses on their marketing strategies. We're seeing the same challenges and problems coming up again and again. So individual marketing tactics with no overall strategy is a common one. People who are running a Google Ads campaign, but with no real planning beforehand, or we are running Facebook ads, or we're going to send out some emails, but there's no kind of clear and coherent strategy and plan behind it. Websites that are effectively just a list of your services, and that's it. Just a kind of a company brochure that's put online. No ability to measure and track what works and what doesn't. At JDR, we work with a platform called HubSpot. We recommend it with all of our clients. It's a tool that does lots and lots of different things, but one of the most important reasons we recommend HubSpot is it has a brilliant way to measure and track what's happening in your sales as well as your marketing. Inconsistent follow-up of leads and inquiries. Sometimes you don't actually need more leads than you've got. You need to just work with the ones you've got more effectively. Lack of an effective database. Spending time on social media or doing news updates on your website, but actually getting nowhere with it, no tangible results that you can point to. And then reliance on individuals, so individual salespeople, so we come across people who, all their results come from one marketing person. When that person leaves, then everything dries up and they can't replace them. So all of those things lead to a confusion with marketing and a frustration with marketing, and that leads to underinvestment in marketing. And when you underinvest in marketing, as a lot of small businesses do, then you don't get the result. You don't get the results, you don't value marketing. It's a kind of repeating cycle. And ultimately, what that does not in 2025, but over the next decade, underinvesting in marketing will hold back the growth of your business. Now, I'm going to come back to this slide later, and hopefully this may make more sense. My goal is it makes more sense at the end of the webinar than it does right now. But good marketing revolves around a system, a platform, a technology that to track, measure, organize everything. That's the system that stays in the middle. So we like working with HubSpot. There are other different platforms and tools, systems that people use. And what you need is to have a really clear understanding of who your ideal customer is and who it is that you want to attract into your business, what kind of companies or clients you want to work with. And getting that clarity leads to how everything else unfolds after that. Once you've done that, then you need to have a clear strategy of how you're going to reach them, where you're going to reach them, how you're going to convert them, how you're going to persuade them to work with you. And then to have a plan that you execute and you follow, and that you track with data and numbers and KPIs and review and optimize. We used to call it iterative execution. You implement things, you track the data, you make changes, you adjust, you monitor the results, and you follow that cycle. And then you go back to the start and review, have we got our ideal customer right? Have we got our strategy right? And by following that process, that system, tracked in the middle, let's say with a proper system, bit by bit, you will get traction in your business and in your marketing. And that will lead to more leads, more inquiries, more sales, more brand awareness, and all the other good stuff that comes with great marketing over a period of time. Now, we talk to businesses about marketing all day, every day. And when we talk to people about marketing, there are some real misconceptions. And the biggest one is expectations around what marketing will do for you. So let me ask you this question. How do you see marketing? Do you see it as an expense, as something that it's just it goes in the expenses column on your accounts. It's something that just costs money. Do you see it as something that you should get? If you spend £10, you should get £15 back or £20 back. Or do you see it as an investment? Because the businesses that see marketing as an expense don't do it. The ones that see it as speculation are consistently let down and disappointed. The businesses that see results with marketing are those that see it as an investment. If you make any investments in your personal lives, you will be expecting returns of what? 3%, 5%, 10% if things go very well. But as business owners, we will often invest in marketing and expect to get an instant return on the money we spend. And in 20 years of marketing, I've seen very few marketing activities, campaigns, programs that have delivered instant results, instant returns. Marketing builds results over a period of years and years and years by making an investment in growing brand awareness and digital assets like your database, your website traffic, your social media following, your content, that basically build results that compound and grow and grow and grow. The businesses that I've always seen that are getting the best results from marketing are the people that have been doing it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years consistently. It's not the ones that have just spent 20 grand on a campaign and are hoping that it's going to produce a return within the first 6 months or whatever it may be. So that is a really important understanding of what we're here to do. The better you understand what marketing will do, why you're doing it, what you should be expecting from it, the better you will feel about your marketing, the better the results will be, the more consistent it will be, and so on. It's a skill. It's a discipline. It's like you wouldn't go to the gym and expect to walk out with a six-pack. You have to do something consistently and with skill, combining, in the case of fitness, nutrition and stretching and rest and all of those things in a scientific way over a period of time. So over the 20 years, we have implemented so many different marketing tactics, campaigns, etc. And about 8 years ago, you might correct me there, Andy, 9 years.
8 or 9, I think. Yeah, you're not too far off. It's hard in January because it's the new year, so you don't know whether it's last year or yet. But yeah, 9 years, I think it is this year.
So we've been guilty over the years of one of the first problems I raised there was individual tactics. We've been guilty of, you as a business should be doing Google Ads. Let's run a Google Ads campaign for you. And around 8, 9 years ago, and it was driven through the investment we were making in our own marketing. What we realized is we couldn't do that for ourselves. We had to have lots of different things working together, and we had to have a proper system for marketing, not just let's invest in let's do some outbound marketing, or let's hire a LinkedIn consultant. What we needed to do was have a proper system and a proper strategy. And over the last 8 or 9 years, this system has been refined and honed many times. We call it the 6-step system. Let me talk you through it. So at the very base, so I see this and I see marketing for a business a bit like you are building something. And if you're building something, the first thing that you need to do is build a strong foundation. And the foundation in marketing is your website. You need to have, it's really difficult to build significant marketing results without a strong website. And it doesn't need to be, something you spend £100,000 on or something like that. It doesn't have to be all bells and whistles, but it has to load quickly. It has to look good. It has to be at least as good as the competitive sites that your customers will also be visiting. It has to be secure. Lots of websites are getting hacked these days. And it has to be something that you can control and manage and edit and make changes to and respond to the data with, so that you can evolve it and improve it based on how people are behaving with it. You've got that, then you've got the foundation that you can grow great results with. So that's your foundation. And building from there, building from the ground up, next is the strategy. So you're going to spend some time on strategy shortly, but it's based around knowing your ideal customer, knowing how they search online, knowing how you're going to convert them, knowing what makes you different in the marketplace, and having a clear plan for your marketing activities. There's also consistent, sorry, not constant, but consistent content creation. So websites these days, I had the point earlier about your website just being a brochure. Well, one of the things that stops you from having a website that's literally just a company brochure online is to be producing regular news, blog posts, articles, information, producing videos, helpful guides, content that's useful and helpful for your customers, would-be buyers, would-be customers. And by doing that and creating content consistently, that is the most important way to grow the number of people visiting your site, is to be basically more interesting and more useful, and you do that with the content that you put on your site. So at JDR, we have a rolling program of which blog posts we're going to write and when, what videos we're going to create, what webinars we're going to run, what podcasts we're going to record. And at whatever scale is appropriate for your business, you should be looking to do the same thing, focusing on information that is useful, interesting, or helpful to your ideal customers. Without that, it's really difficult to do the more kind of eye-catching fun stuff that comes from point 3 upwards when we're starting to push on for results. If you don't have the right website, the right strategy, and you don't have good content and regular content being produced. But once you have that foundation, then you can start to let's get more people to our website. And that's building website traffic. And that's where you're looking at search engine optimization, running Google ads, social media marketing, email marketing, things that will go out and take your name and get it out there, help people discover you online, get your name in front of people, get certain messages, getting certain content, and getting your brand and your business in front of the people that you want to be in front of. Step 4, if step 3 gets people to your site, step 4 is to have a plan to actually convert them into leads. And just having a contact us page on your website is not a plan. People will fill that in, but you will be missing out on masses and masses of leads by not having a proper conversion strategy. And we'll cover that a little bit later in the webinar. Once you're generating leads, there has to be a proper system for following up, maximizing every single lead opportunity, tiny piece of interest in your business. So step 5 is about converting leads into sales. We are big believers in using marketing automation, having automated email follow-ups for people that come in at certain stages of the buying journey, having a good CRM system to keep a track of all the leads, using things like remarketing and retargeting advertising strategies for people that have shown interest but not yet bought, and having a really good effective sales process. And then step 6 is, once you're winning customers, you want to the marketing doesn't stop. There are cross-selling, upselling opportunities, and there are marketing opportunities with every customer to turn out into case studies, reviews, the kind of content that helps other new people discovering you decide to work with you and give them the confidence that you're the right company to choose. So those
it's
are
much easier to get existing customers to spend more with you than to consistently having to replace customers you've lost as well.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. And then every step of the way, there should be KPIs and tracking and measurement. So again, I'll touch on the types of numbers that you can be measuring as we track all of this. So a proper systematic approach to your marketing, and in terms of the way you get results through marketing, the foundation doesn't produce results per se, but it gives you the platform to build traffic and leads. The more traffic you get to your site, the more leads you can generate. The more leads you can generate, more sales you can convert. More sales you convert, the more you can then grow the revenue. And the revenue and the profit always comes at the end of the journey. Bit like with my fitness example, the six pack doesn't come at the beginning of the process; it comes at the end. It's part of the journey of getting lots of other things right consistently over a period of time to get to it. So let's start with the website. Some common problems with websites, and if you are experiencing these problems, it may be time to plan in 2025 a change in your website. Common problem with websites is there's no strategy for lead generation. There's no USP differentiation, no conversion strategy, no way of driving traffic. The website just sits there. No consistent improvement. If your website is kind of the same now that it was last year and the year before and the year before that, then you're not improving it. You're not getting better results. Ideally, you would be doing regular testing, analysis, tweaks, changes to improve the results, learning from those results and scaling them up. Use of outdated technology. So we're seeing lots of challenges at the moment with websites built on the WordPress platform. So across our client base, we do a lot of marketing for people who've already got a website and they want to work with their existing website. If that website is built in WordPress, we sometimes have challenges when that website gets hacked or has technical challenges of one shape or form. WordPress, among there's other platforms like that. WordPress just happens to be the most popular. Is a frankly outdated platform. It is vulnerable to hacks and security issues. It is the way that those sites are often built makes you reliant on whoever does the hosting and updates and security. They often involve a lot of kind of custom coding. And it can be slow and sometimes costly to make simple changes. And you need to be able to make changes quickly and effectively in order to get the best possible marketing results. And what often happens is that companies go through a cycle of doing a big website project every 2 to 4 years that costs money, time, and it's a big project that sucks loads of resources. And then everyone's delighted with it when it first goes live. And within about 6 months, we're starting to think about the next time we need to redo it.
All the plugins have stopped working. They all need updating.
The person that built it has moved and left to Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Is no longer contactable. We took a decision. We build. We built like 50 websites last year, and have built hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000 websites we've built over the years. That's being very conservative. Well, we took a decision a few years ago, no longer to build in WordPress. We build exclusively in the HubSpot platform now, as it's a modern cloud-based system that avoids all those problems, and gives you a system that you can edit and change and be flexible with while being secure and being fast and optimized for SEO. And there's loads of, as a marketer, there's loads of great features for doing better marketing and better conversion optimization built into it as well. We have done a separate webinar on the HubSpot platform. We have got pages about it on our website. We'll perhaps include a link to that in an email we send out after today's webinar, because it's a big subject. But you may need to look at your website and think, well, this is the year we redo it, in which case sooner rather than later is my advice.
Just a quick one before you move on that one is, if your business is e-commerce, HubSpot as a platform isn't suitable for e-commerce businesses currently. So if you sell online, a really good platform that we would recommend, and we build all our e-commerce websites, is Shopify, which, rather than, because a lot of e-commerce businesses will have WordPress websites and use like the WooCommerce add-on. Shopify is a great alternative to that because it covers all of the it's cloud-based as well. So all the security issues, all the issues that Will's talked about can be resolved with Shopify as well. So if your business sells online, HubSpot is not the platform for you, but Shopify would be.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching and going, come on, let's get to marketing planning. Well, yeah, that's where we're going. But it would be remiss not to start if you're putting together loads of investment in your marketing, putting loads of time into it, and you're doing that on a platform, a foundation that's not secure, then you're not making the most of your resources this year. But assuming you are, let's move on to the strategy and planning. So your ideal customer. We interview hundreds and hundreds of businesses every year, and we always ask, right, who's your ideal customer? How much do you know about them? We ask various questions, right? What's their typical profile? What are their kind of most common challenges, and so on. And when we work with a client and we're going to do their marketing for them, we'll actually go through a proper documentation process of documenting, right, this is ideal customer profile for our business. And let's get some real clarity on who it is. And there might be, in a lot of businesses we work with, they don't just have one, they might have two or three or even more sometimes of different ideal customer profiles that they're trying to target. And we have a prioritization process and so on. But where a lot of people start with marketing is, right, what do we want to sell more of? Or what do we want to tell people? And where you should be starting is, who are the people we want to do business with, and what do they want to know about? What do they care about? Because that will help you make better marketing decisions if you spend the time answering those questions and thinking about those questions. There are some great resources. HubSpot has got a buyer persona builder that you can use for free online. There's
I've just put it in the chat for everyone as well. So
that's a great place to start.
Make My Persona, it's called, and you can go on and create your own buyer persona, ideal customer buyer persona. The words are the same basically, but yeah, that's how they refer to it as.
So yeah, this can be done in about 10 minutes, but you know, if it's worthy of an afternoon, of a day. Really getting into it, really getting the clarity and understanding, which we'll touch on, not just who they are. So that's like in marketing terms, we call that demographics, right? Age, location, company size, job title, that type of thing. But what's far more interesting and far more useful from a marketing perspective is to get into what's called psychographics, which is their goals, their challenges, their problems, their pain points. What events or triggers cause them to start looking for your products or services, or thinking about your products or services? What are the problems that bring them into the market that they're experiencing? Problems with existing suppliers, changes in their circumstances. What are those things? And when you really map all that stuff out, you can find fantastic opportunities for content, for ads, for keywords, for marketing. So it's a source of information we really mine before moving on with any marketing campaigns. So our next step, and then again, this is something we do with clients. And if you have any SEO tools, you can do the same thing. There are some other ways of going about this if you don't pay for any SEO software. So JDR, we're big users of a platform called SEMrush, which is like industry leading SEO software. And we can use it to research what people type into Google. So in this example here on screen, this is some of our own research. We can see that 9,900 people a month search for a digital marketing agency in Google. And we know how difficult it is to come up in page one for that. And we know how much people are bidding for that in Google Ads. And we can know how easy it would be for our website to get onto page one. We know we can research what kind of things Google is showing on page one. And that helps us understand what we should be targeting in our content, in our website, in the campaigns that we're running. And it tells us about our ideal customers. What words, language do they use? So understanding this, it gives you an idea of how many people are in the market for your products and services. So we always look at volume, difficulty, ads cost, and it can help you plan and get a clear strategy. So with, I don't know, half a day's worth of research into keywords, we can basically, on the back of that, plan what blog posts and what new pages we're going to add to our website and what videos we're going to create for the next 12 months and have that properly documented. And it's done on the back of data rather than guesswork, because we know people are looking for the answers to those questions.
Doing it
Now,
consistently as well, I would also add, is that not just do it once, because trends change. The way that the search volume was X amount last year doesn't mean it's going to be the same amount this year. So it's important, I think, to maintain that process and to keep doing it and keep researching, because like you would do with the results and you would tweak campaigns and stuff, also go over the research consistently as well to make sure that we're targeting the right things as well.
yeah. This is, I don't know if we're getting into the weeds a little bit here, but bear with me, right, on this, because this is a bit technical when it comes to keywords, right, and creating blog posts and website pages and so on. But going back to our keyword research here, the way that we will work is we will group keywords by topics, and when we produce content, whether it's news articles or blog posts or podcasts or whatever, on those topics, we will then group them together. And the way that we group them is through use of links. So we will have links to the, they will interlink with each other, basically. Makes it very easy for Google. So for, in our example, we are currently the #1 ranked website in the UK for the term inbound marketing agency. So we've written lots of content about inbound marketing, and we have a page on our website about inbound marketing, and that is one of our topic clusters. So all of that content is all linked together, and Google can see that JDR Group is an authority on the subject of inbound marketing. And as a result, when people are looking for an inbound marketing agency, we have authority and we're ranked #1 for that term. And so it's not, when we look at keywords, when you're looking at how people search for you, always consider not just individual terms, but the broader topics and how you could group those together and build authority in certain categories of content, not just individual search terms. I hope that makes sense. Again, you need certain tools and to get data like this. Google has a free tool that you can get if you sign up for a Google Ads account. There are, I think, still some free tools to do keyword research online, or you can get a paid tool like SEMrush, or you can work with a marketing agency. This is our bread and butter. It's something we do with every marketing campaign that we work on.
Before you move on, Will, Faye has just asked, with keyword research, would you do that once a quarter, every 6 months? What would your recommendation be?
That's a good question. We do it once a year formally, but there are times during the course of the year where something happens and we go, you know what, we should research that as a topic, and we'll maybe mine into a particular topic for a particular reason. But other than that, we revisit it and refresh it every 12 months. So your marketing strategy is a combination of lots and lots of different things. But don't confuse a marketing strategy with a marketing plan. A marketing plan is we're going to send 1 email a week and we're going to do 2 LinkedIn posts a month. Right? That's a kind of an activity plan. The strategy is more right. Who are we targeting? What makes us different? What stands us apart? What do we understand about the marketplace, where we sit in the marketplace? How are we going to get people to our website, and how are we going to get them to convert once they're on our site? And that's the strategy, and that takes time to develop, and it needs to be refined and revisited. So our process with clients and in our own business is to review that every 3 months. We start with an annual plan based on doing all of this work, and then we review it and check in on it every 3 months. Is the plan we're following aligned to the strategy? Do we need to change anything in our strategy? Have we learned anything new that would change our strategy? In addition to the things I've mentioned, there's also time spending on what is your differentiation in the marketplace. We do whole day-long workshops with people on differentiation in the marketplace, how you can position yourself effectively against your competition. Having really, high-level branding. You don't need to be, I don't know, Nike or Coca-Cola or something like that, but you should have a clear set of brand guidelines, and everything that you do marketing-wise should look consistent and should have a familiar look and feel to it. And then the vision of the business, the values of the business. So far beyond the tactical, what does your company actually stand for? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you care about it? So for us, our passion is helping businesses grow. It's helping businesses achieve. Our vision is digital prosperity, helping business owners to prosper in the digital world. That's what drives us. We like working with small businesses where we can make a difference and we can help see changes that affect the lives of the business owners, that create jobs, that create opportunities, create wealth for people, in a way that when you work with big brands and big companies, as some marketing agencies do, you're far removed from that. You're not seeing the impact of what you're doing in the same way that we do as we work directly with business owners. So that's important to know as a strategic point as a company. It's important in how you kind of recruit, train, motivate staff, and so on. But it's also compelling from a marketing perspective. People buy into companies on an emotional level as well as a logical one. So spending time working through all of these things is time really well spent, and it can take days to get all of this defined, mapped out, and then it should be revisited and refreshed on a regular basis. Once you've got your strategy, now let's move on to the plan. And this is where you're looking at activities. What should you be doing in terms of from a tactical perspective to drive more traffic and leads to your website and to generate more business in 2025? Now, this is a really useful graphic. We have to help determine what types of tactics would be most appropriate for any given business. So on the left-hand side here, we have whether you have a product or service people search for. So for example, air conditioning. Air conditioning is air conditioning repair, new air conditioning is something people go to Google to search for. I've worked with companies where they've developed a software product that is completely unique in the market and no one knows about it, so no one would ever search for it. So how much do people search for you? And the people that you're trying to target, is it Joe Bloggs? So if you've developed a new, I don't know, protein bar or cereal bar or something, that's a pretty broad general public marketplace. If you've developed a software platform for chief financial operators, that's a very specific B2B market. And that affects whether LinkedIn would work better or Google Ads would work better or Facebook would work better. And from there, you can work out what types of strategies you should be using and prioritizing to go after and attract the customers you want. When getting people to your website, we talked about your conversion plan. When people buy any product or service, there are 3 basic steps to a decision. You have aware of a problem, researching and trying to understand the options and considering which is the best way to go to solve that particular problem. And then once they've got clarity on what they're going to do, then it's decision time. Who do I choose to do it? And most websites, most marketing just focuses on, we need to convert the people who are looking for a marketing agency. well, you miss out on the 20 times more people who have got the problem that you solve or are doing their research. And most of the people that visit your website are probably in one of the first two categories, not the last one. And that's why just having a contact us page on your website, you'll capture the people who are at the decision stage, or at least some of them. But the people who are just doing their research or are just trying to think about the problem, they won't fill in your contact us form. So we need to think about what offers you could make on your site for these different stages of the buying journey. So ebooks, free reports, free webinars, checklists, free resources people could sign up to get. So an example from our website is a free guide called How to Attract, Win, Keep and Grow Customers. Over 6,000 people have downloaded this guide. And it speaks to the big challenge that people have. Consideration stage, webinars, case studies, running events. So we do webinars, we have case studies. That is really useful for people who are thinking about considering, comparing, researching, looking at alternatives, looking at the best way to go. And then you've got the decision stage where you've got your contact us, but you can also have a free demo if you're a software business, or a site survey if you are a site-based business. On our website, you can book a meeting in with Andy and have an initial discussion. We'll give you a link to that later in the webinar. And that will help you generate more leads from the people that visit your site. From there, there's got to be a plan to convert, and this is a kind of a final point between sales and marketing, because when you invest in marketing, if what you want is more revenue as a result of making that investment, understand that what you're looking for is a sales result, not a marketing result. And you need both of those things working together. Marketing will generate more attention. It will get people to come to your website, or get people to know you, be aware of you, hopefully like you, and hopefully have some kind of engagement with your business, following you on social media, filling a form out on your website. The job of that doesn't create revenue by itself without a really good sales process to turn that interest into opportunities, orders, sales. And that involves reaching out, following up each piece of interest, connecting, convincing, and then converting people. So with all of that, you should be looking to, or could be looking to, develop a plan. This is our marketing plan. It's a month-by-month plan for the year ahead. What content we're going to create, what offers we're going to create, what our sales activities are going to be, what our follow-up is going to be. So each stage of that of that 6-step process: plan for the website, plan for content creation, plan for the different advertising channels we're going to be working with, plan for different conversion offers we're going to create, and map it out so that you know what you're going to be doing, and then review that plan on a monthly basis with a 3-monthly strategy section. And then all of that needs to be measured. So for the people who are in the awareness stage, we want to look at how many people are coming to the site, searching for our brand name on Google, how many people we're reaching through our social media activities. For consideration, we're looking at how many leads we're generating, how many followers we're picking up, and for the decision stage, how many actual inquiries we're picking up, or deals created, or what's our conversion ratios. Those are the types of things to be tracking on a week-by-week, month-by-month, or quarter-by-quarter basis in your marketing. And it will tell you which areas you need to work on and improve, and what kind of things you need to hit in order to get your overall business revenue goals. So I said I'd come back to this as we approach quarter past. Hopefully you can see that the good marketing is you start with who you're trying to target, you create the strategy, and then you create a plan. And then you follow that plan, and you use data to measure how effectively it's working, and you revise it and you revisit it consistently as you go along. And if you have a system, and we've got lots of webinars and things you can learn more about HubSpot, but HubSpot is our system of choice. to sit and track and measure all of that and be the kind of the central hub of all of that activity. So final thing is a reminder. I said that you should look at marketing as an investment. If you are going to this year start some new campaigns, new activities, don't set yourself up for disappointment. What we generally see with the clients we work with, if we start a new marketing program, right, we're going to create content, we're going to start doing some SEO with the website, we're going to start sending some emails out. We will generally see website traffic starting to increase slowly but surely once we've done our initial setup and planning and strategic work and so on. And as the months go by, that just builds and builds and builds and builds and grows. But that doesn't mean more leads or inquiries straight away. Generally, that is a lagging thing. That will come later as the traffic grows. Then bit by bit, the leads start to go along the same trajectory, but it doesn't happen at the same time. And as for sales and new customers, well, that lags again from leads because you might have to work out your best follow-up processes and are we getting the right leads and so on.
Especially if your time to sale is quite long as well. You're not going to get customers in the first 3 months, 6 months if your sales process is well over a year potentially as well. So it's important to factor all that in when looking at or projecting return on investment as well.
We started that 6-step system. We started introducing that in our own business about 12 years ago when we had like 500 visits to our website. Now we get like 500 leads from our website in a month. And that's been built over time. People underestimate what they can achieve over a 5-year, 10-year period. But they tend to, did I say underestimate? They underestimate but they overestimate what you can do in 6 months. So if you look at any marketing activity over the long term, you'll always be well rewarded with it. So I hope you've got value from that. And there's a lot to cover there, and there's every single subject we could go into and do multiple other webinars on. But hopefully it gives you the overall structure and system to follow and how you go about making sure this year is the best year possible. Now, you may, as we sit here now, you may want some further help in achieving that for your business. So we have a massive library of free resources on our website. We have lots of webinars that you can sign up to, replays of previous webinars we've run. We have loads of free guides, we have calculators, we have all sorts of stuff you can do on our website. A really good place to start that's relevant to what we've talked about today is our guide, How to Create a Marketing Plan, which you can download for free, follow the steps in that.
Check the chat, everyone. There's a link to it there, so everyone can download it as well.
You may have marketers within your team, people within your team that can follow everything that we've talked about today, or you may need some or all of it to be done for you. And if you'd like to talk to us about potentially doing that, or at least explore that idea, we have a way of working out every client we work with. We tailor what we're going to do for their particular business based on starting point, competition, nature of the industry, budgets and money obviously comes into it, your existing resources, your existing team. So we start off with an initial discovery meeting just to talk it through, see what the feasibility of it all is. And then from there, we go through various different steps of analyzing the competition, getting to understand the business, and then preparing a tailored plan that's unique for your business based on everything that we learn. So if you'd like to start that journey, just have an initial conversation with Andy, then we have a link on our website to Andy's calendar, and you can just book in 30 minutes. There's no strings attached. You can just have a chat, talk a few things through. You can give him a good grilling if you like.
Yeah, feel free.
He might do the same to you.
I've also put a link to my diary in the chat also. Okay, it is the beginning of the year, so that availability is limited in January. as lots of people are taking advantage of taking the time to get their marketing started, but there are definitely some gaps available. So feel free, and it's live to the end of February, I think it is. I've set it up for, so there'll be loads and loads of time that you can organize with me, and we can just talk about your business specifically, and look at what your plans are, what your goals are, what your marketing activity is, what you want to achieve in your business, and tailor it on a one-to-one basis. Completely exploratory. There's no kind of obligation to move forward, or we're not assuming that you're going to work with us or anything like that. It's just a chance for you to talk to somebody on your sales and marketing activity and create that plan moving forward as well. So hopefully I'll see some of you in a one-to-one basis soon.
I mean, it's worth, for the avoidance of any doubt, everything that we've talked through today, from creating the content, writing the blog posts, sending the emails, doing the SEO, building the website, implementing HubSpot, everything that we've talked about are things that we can provide and do for you. Likewise, we've got lots of clients we work with where they do large parts of that themselves, and we fill the gaps they've got. So there's always a way of finding a way of us working together that meets your specific needs, given who you have in your team, what resources you've got, what your starting point is, and everything else we've mentioned.
Alan has just asked, by the way, just while you're talking about that, I think it's quite relevant. Like, what would a process typically cost for a small business as well, using the methods that you've talked about today? I think the answer I would always say is that it varies on the business itself. Like you just gave two examples there. If they've got, it depends on their internal resources. Are they needing to outsource everything? What are their strengths? What are their market levels of competition? There's so many different variables. But to give a business a realistic aim, they should have a call with me, and I can obviously organize a specific cost. But I think that is it 15% of revenue should be invested in marketing? Is that industry standard? That's what
I think the UK average, according to a big YouGov poll a few years ago, was 9.3%.
9%. Okay.
So
I've
if you've
overshot
got
it
a
slightly.
turnover of £1 million a year, that would be, if I do my maths right, £93,000 would be your marketing budget. A lot of small businesses don't hit that 9% figure. Some go way and above, way over it. But yeah, the average is 9% of your turnover. Yeah, we've got clients that just, we're doing something relatively simple for a few £100 a month, and we've got obviously clients doing a lot more. What's I think unique about us as an agency is we can do everything and do it in one place, do the strategy, tailor it to your business, implement it all. And when we're doing that, we'll often say it's, cost-wise, it's equivalent to, it's like hiring somebody to come and work in your marketing team. But instead of one person, you've got 40 industry professionals with different skill sets, each coming to the table to give you expertise in different areas, and to a proper system and a proper plan and a proper strategy process, one that's tried and tested over years and years and years. One where
And we don't take holidays or sick days either.
Like, yes,
it's always that. I mean, we do. We're not like superhumans, but you don't experience it. Basically,
no holidays, sick days, etc. Yeah. Great. Well, listen, I really appreciate the time you've all taken to join us this morning. Do we have any questions, Andy?
I think we've answered most of them live. We've been fairly comprehensive. So you have, Will, which has been great. So no questions. We've covered all of the questions. If anyone has any other ones, feel free to pop it in now. Okay. So is that Aman? Over 1 year now, far will 25k stretch from marketing budget? It's such a difficult question to answer that without knowing about your business, your website, current position. There's so many variables that would determine that, because that could be, yeah, exactly. How long is a piece of string, effectively? But set up a call in my diary and we can have a conversation about it for sure. Okay. next webinar is you're going to take a break, I think, Will. You know, you've had a year off the last webinars. For those that have joined us on previous ones, we have a different series that we ran the whole of last year, which was our HubSpot Masterclass. And next month we are bringing that back as well. So Emma, who joins me on those ones, is back again, and we're going to be talking about the HubSpot starter package. So if you're a small business owner that might be overwhelmed by the investment required from a professional solution with HubSpot, okay, or you've got the starter one and it's not really working, it's how you can get the most out of that, okay, and all the tools that are available on that. So it's going to be great for small businesses that are maybe just starting out in their HubSpot journey, or businesses that are looking at an entry-level point to it as well. Okay, so hope to all see you next month. There'll be details, emails to follow about the date of that and when it is as well, closer to the time. But I think that's everyone. So yeah, thanks everyone for your time. Thanks, Will. It's been
enjoyed this morning. Good luck the rest of 2025. Let's go and smash it, as they say.
Absolutely. And I hope to see all of you soon. You know, I expect to come off this, and my diary has been booked by lots of you. So hopefully see you all soon. All right.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Andy.
Take care. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.